G'day there, it's Dave here, Dave Mills, the inventor of Tarka, and there, there were four really common questions for players who had learned the basic rules, and these questions were, just quickly tidy this up, these questions were, how do I castle, how do I promote, how do I pothole, and how do I checkmate? So I'm going to try and answer these four questions as quickly as I can. Okay, let's start with how do I castle? The king in Tarka is very special and can castle 4 times, okay? So obviously what the king castles with are the rooks and the gargoyles. If either of these pieces have moved, then we know that they cannot castle. If the king has moved, he has lost the ability to castle. And so what needs to happen is these pieces need to be moved from in between the gargoyle and the rook. So let's just remove them more quickly. Okay. Now, so how the king castles is the king moves next to the rook or gargoyle, and the piece jumps to the center. The piece moves next to the rook here, jumps over. Now on the other side, this standard sideboard has been all over the world. So the king moves next to the gargoyle. On the right side for white, gargoyle jumps over. King moves next to the rook jumps over. Now, here's the question that was asked. If the gargoyle has jumped or moved like a rook away, can the king castle straight into the corner? Yes. Either side, the king can jump straight to the corner. And if the king is castled this way, the next question is, and this rook moves, obviously rooks don't jump like that, they move horizontal and vertical. Can the king castle with this rook on the other side of the board? And the answer is yes. The king can castle in Tarka if he hasn't moved, the rook hasn't moved, none of these squares are attacked by any enemy pieces, and the king is not in check, he is not under attack, then the king can castle from one end to the other. And this can be a powerful tactic that the captain of your team or you as an individual can use to rope-a-dope either side of the board and fool the attackers. Let the attackers build up one way, castle, and escape their attack. So it's a very important idea that every captain must know. Now, the next question is about potholing that I'd like to cover. Alright, now, potholing was invented by me falling into a pothole and spraining my ankle. When a pawn originally skipped past the enemy pawn, the other pawn would have no ability that was on either side of it to capture it. But now, just like en passant in chess, it's a permanent en passant. Whenever your pawn denies another pawn the ability to capture you by moving 2 squares, you have the ability to capture as though it's only moved 1 move, but just for the very next move. And in another video, I'll show that in more detail, because I'm trying to be brief here. Next, with checkmate, there's 3 types of checkmate. There's the checkmate of attack, checkmate by attack, where the king is attacked, check, but has nowhere else it can move legally. It cannot destroy the checking piece, it cannot block the checking piece, and cannot escape, so the king is checkmated by attack. Checkmated by imprisonment is when the king has nowhere that it can move legally. All the squares around it are checked, and the king has no other piece has a legal move. So the king is checkmate by imprisonment. And the third way to win in Tarka is checkmate by royal decree, where one king has the high ground in the center and can force the other king into the corner for a checkmate by royal decree. Imprisoning the king in the corner by constantly using the king's force field to manipulate the king into the corner, grab him by the back and neck and imprison him. And so that's checkmate in a nutshell. And then promotion is, so we've covered castling, we've covered potholing just briefly, we've covered checkmating briefly. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly rack these up. Just give me a second. The princess never starts on her color. The dress does not match the shoes. Okay. Yoink. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about... I just had a momentary flutter of my heart being in front of a camera. Just give me a second. Take a deep breath. All right. We've covered potholing, we've covered checkmating, we've covered castling, and now, lastly, I'm going to quickly talk about promotion. Promotion is this thing that happens towards the end of the game if you've been skilled and won extra pieces, or you've won pieces ahead of them. And it's another level by promoting and upgrading your pieces. It's something that someone who's playing a running game absolutely wants to do. If they can't checkmate the king, they want to actually get some sort of material advantage so they can upgrade their pieces and promote their pieces. So I'm going to teach you the fastest way that I've learned in over 20 years to learn about promotion. It's something that you could play 20 games, 30 games, and you never do, because it's something that you may not need. But the most skillful teams and the most skillful players know what promotion is. They know how to promote. They know where they need to go to have a chance at promoting, and they know the number one rule of promotion is: you must claim your promotion before you make the move. If you move and then go, I claim my promotion, it doesn't count. You must claim the promotion on the piece before making a move, or wait till your next turn. And your opponent, you're posing, 4v4, 2v4, 2v2, your opponents do not have to tell you promoted. So now, this is how I remember promotion. Now, we'll start with the archers. When an archer promotes, it can jump up to 5 squares. So that can be enough for a win. So what you need to do is you need to capture didn't set it up right. There we go. Okay. You need to capture their bishops and archers. That's it. You need to capture 4 pieces to be able to jump up to 5 squares and claim your promotion for your archer. This is a very important point. The aircon here has just kicked in to fix the room temperature. Obviously we're getting too cold here in the Radisson Hotel Detroit. Very cool. So we'll take this up for another video. Okay? I love you all. Take care. Bye. Very cool.